Welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We're the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she lacks desire. I spent my whole life growing up playing sports, but apparently Jesse doesn't like my leopard print gay-ass shorts.
Yep, hate them.
Why do you hate these amazing shorts, first and foremost?
No, first of all, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why would you buy leopard and zebra print shorts? Why?
Because they're amazing, and I look fucking fantastic in them. That's why. That's the reason why.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're like white with the blacks, so they're even like kind of glowy.
Okay.
And then I asked you this morning, did you wear those to the gym?
Oh, most definitely.
That was the answer.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, dude, everyone in there thinks you're gay.
And
you show up with men, you're around the men, you're doing your legs in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Totally gay.
Right.
I told my hairdresser this morning.
And what'd she say?
Gay. And then she was asking if I asked you if you ever dabbled.
Is your hairdresser cute?
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
All right. Would you leave me in a room with her alone for 10 minutes?
Yeah, why?
Would she think I was gay if she was left in a room with me alone for 10 minutes?
I just don't know why.
What I'm saying is all of your guys' incorrect perception it literally has no bearing on the matter of what. I love short shorts. That has not changed.
Yeah.
I was not able to wear my short shorts due to winter being cold as fuck, and the leather is really chilly when I get into my seats. But as soon as I got over that and I realized it's time, I ordered all new ones. They're fresh. They came in. They're exciting. And I literally picked white leopard, white zebra,
yes,
black topographical map.
Why specifically leopard and zebra?
Because they're badass.
Oh.
Yeah. Paired with a black shirt, it's over. See?
It is over.
What I'm saying is
no.
First and foremost, who cares what I look like at the gym? Although,
keep wearing them so you don't look that cute at the gym. Go ahead. I love that for you.
Although I do get a lot of compliments on
Sure.
them. So the bottom line is this.
There's a lot of bottom lines here.
You hate me because you ain't me.
Okay.
You wish you could wear white leopard shorts.
I can. I'm a lady. I can wear whatever I want. But you, on the other hand.
I love it. So this is interesting. So you're pretty passionate about this.
I really am.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw them out. They're horrid.
That is so funny.
They are horrid.
What do you think is going through my head when I'm wearing them?
Oh, you don't care at all.
What do you mean don't care?
I think you feel confident when you walk in.
Oh.
Like you're the shit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If I didn't know you and I saw it, I'd be like, whoa. That's totally.
Gay.
Yeah.
And then what would happen if you met me?
Well, the same thing when I met you the first time.
Which was?
You're a little much, whoa, crazy with the jokes, and I need to walk away.
Yeah.
Till I met you 100 more times.
And then what happened?
Well, you became not the leopard print shorts guy. You became like the real you.
Ah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's funny is that it reminds me of my dad. And I hate/love that. Because he just wears... But in the 80s, like he wore all that stuff too. He would wear cut off jean shorts, tank tops with his nipples out, and long crazy hair. You see him, so and he still wears it. Like, why? I just how did I get myself into this? How did I do this to myself? That's how I feel. Yeah, here we are.
Oh, here we are. Aren't you so glad you have a man that will just walk and march to the beat of his own drum?
Yes, 95% yes.
Yeah, and the other 5 is...
Those shorts gotta go. That has to go.
Yeah, well, guess what?
They're here to stay?
Dude, bro, they are the gateway to what's
to
next.
Gayness. It's the gateway. The gateway to gayness.
All right. Well, now that you guys see everybody's opinion on these things, hey, bottom line is, you know what? I look pretty damn good in white leopard shorts.
Well, you look pretty damn good in general, but those could go.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know about those.
That leads us into our next segment.
It does.
He said, she said. You ask, we answer.
All right.
1 question,
Okay.
2 perspectives, 0 sugarcoating.
We had too much caffeine, obviously.
No, but the way you react, the way you react
Stop
to
it.
shit. Like, let me say the whole thing. This
No, I
is
can't.
good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. He said, she said. You ask, we answer. 1 question, 2 perspectives, 0 sugarcoating. Dun dun dun.
Whoa, Jesus, you're so bad at that.
Why does she say, I'm not in the mood, but then acts annoyed when I don't try at all? What say ye, Jesse Joy? Oh, you don't got wisecracks now, eh?
Why say it again? Why does she say?
Why does she say, I'm not in the mood,
Yeah.
but then acts annoyed when I don't try at
Well,
all?
women are confusing. She probably isn't in the mood, or she hasn't had enough connection time. But everyone wants to be pursued, right? So I love that you pursue me all the time.
Yeah,
I love that you're obsessed with me.
yeah.
But sometimes I'm not in the mood.
You feel hunted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, huh?
My mom brought up a good point. Of course, my mom, I talk to her all the time. Like Pepe Le Pew, you know,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Cherie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but like, I love it.
Yeah.
I don't want it any other way.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not in the mood, but then acts annoyed when I don't try at all. So, first of all, when is she saying I'm not in the mood? Mm-hmm. Second of all, then acts annoyed when I don't try at all. So what I'm making a big assumption here. Mm-hmm. It could be right. It could be wrong. I'm assuming that he asked for sex. She says I'm not in the mood. So therefore he stopped asking for it and is basically saying, I'm stopped asking for it. Now she's annoyed, like, how come you never ask? And he's like, dude, bitch, every time I ask, you reject me.
Yeah. Or
that's what I'm understanding the context is. Am I correct about where we're getting this from? Yeah, that's the correct context.
or that he asks and then he stops even paying attention because she already said no. So now he's like, well, fuck, I don't even want to talk to her now.
Ooh.
And so it makes it feel like you're a walking vagina.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason you wanted to hang out with me is to get some. So now you're not hanging out with me anymore.
Yeah.
Just because you're not getting sex. So that's why women start saying, well, you're not getting this, you know, and that's how that kind of evolves.
Okay, so there's 2 ways we could go with this. I'd like to go both ways, but they've got to be
I like to go both ways too.
Yeah, you do. But they've got to be kind of separate tracks so they're not confusing. The first track is to give him a couple of word tracks just to use in the moment to help him maybe navigate the thing to where he wants it to go. A, B, I believe there's a holistic problem going on here that's way deeper than just word tracks can fix. But we got both listeners on this show. Guys that are deep in the pit that are like, oh my God, yeah, I've done trying because I've been rejected so much. They don't need a word track. They need a whole rebuild of their foundation. But there's guys in here that they go, my wife goes, I'm not in the mood, and it does cause them to be more hesitant, but they're still getting sex. So let's just do the word track first. When she says, I'm not in the mood, a word track might be, okay, cool. When is a better time for you?
Yeah.
Almost like, hey, when are you typically in the mood? When are you in the mood? I'll just come around at that point in time, which is it's more of the assumption. Of course, we're gonna have sex. If it's not now, just tell me when you're more in the mood. That could be a simple. If it's just that simple, it's the wrong timing. It's not rejection. It's actually rain check.
There's usually more to it.
But that's just the word track for a guy who is looking to be a little more smooth on his feet in that situation. He goes, hey, you want to have sex? She goes, oh, I'm not really in the mood. He can powerfully go, okay, cool, just let me know when's a better time for you.
Right.
And then you can ask it right in that moment, hey, when will be a better time for you? Which she might say, I don't know when I'm going to be in the mood.
Yeah.
And she might go in that direction. A man who has his side of the street clean would say something to the effect of, basically here's 2 options. If you're not going to be in the mood for either of those, that is what it is, but we'll get you in the mood. Like something, there's got to be a more powerful way. The answer can't be I'm not in the mood forever for a woman to a guy.
Well, that's what I wanted to say
But that's the systemic issue that we're probably going to be dealing with.
On the woman's side, if you just say that, then the man is always wondering when it's going to come. So he'll be more like anxious about it. So things that I like to say is like, oh, rain check. How about in the morning? Like I'll give another time. Yeah. Not like when you just leave it open and they don't know. Like it's never like, you know.
Yeah. If a man could communicate that to his woman in a powerful way without getting emotional or throwing a fit or throwing jabs and daggers at the lady and trying to communicate that, the answer is for us to teach him how to communicate in a way that's powerful so that he doesn't have to run and hide and ask us what to do after the fact.
Right.
So yes, in that place, you'd be like, hey, a guy could, if he has his side of the street clean. That's a big if. And most guys actually think their side of the street clean. They take our survey and they realize, Jesus, dude, I'm getting like a C plus max. That's actually what happened. We were manning the arena. There was 1,000+ guys, maybe more. And we had them all take our 5-dial quiz. There was 20 that
had like a C and above.
That had a B minus or more, an 80 out of 100 or more. There was 20 guys. That means there was, let's just say it was 1,000 people, 980 dudes that were in there that were all average husbands or below.
I hope that's a wake-up call because a lot of them think that their shit don't stink.
That's why I do the test. To show you, hey, my guy, I know you think she's the problem, but why don't you just take this test real fast? In 2 minutes, you'll realize you're not fuckable. And once you realize that, okay, so I'm not in the mood, the word track is just when's a better time for you. But that's the word track that might be able to get a guy over the spot so he can feel empowered when he's in that mode. But the real situation is if she's annoyed that you don't try at all, using your big boy voice without all the emotional triggers and without any of that, the answer is just simple. Well, when you don't tell me a time, it makes me wonder, and sometimes we go a long time, and I don't like waiting. That doesn't make me feel very connected or very loved. Most men can't say it as a matter of fact, like that's their truth. They're usually using it as a point in an argument to try and get them to believe something that they need to believe or do what they need to do. This is why most women don't hear it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. So the deeper point is the reason you're getting rejected is because she's not that attracted to you, and that's what marriedgame.com is all about. So those are the word tracks, and then the systemic holistic thing is she's not attracted to you. Go to marriedgame.com to figure that out, or go watch all of our other episodes.
Jesus.
Whenever I try to fix things, she shuts down or gets defensive. Why do women hate solutions, and how do I break the cycle?
Maybe they're not feeling heard. They just automatically come up with a solution and they haven't like got to talk about their feelings included in that. That's my guess so far.
I'm going to say what is a common axiom, a common phrase amongst people that I think is true, but there's a higher truth. And the one part of the truth is they've all heard, pretty cliche. If your wife is saying, just pause and ask, do you want me just to listen, or do you want me to, problem solve with you, right?
Yeah.
Almost like she's a 3-year-old little girl. Do you want, you want a red balloon like with a clown, or would you like a blue balloon that's a horse? It's like, I think, but it's better than just being a problem solving, talk over, solve all your problems, make you feel like a piece of shit ogre. It's better, but why don't you just listen is default answer, the same way you would on a sales call. Nobody would jump on a sales call and they're like, you wouldn't just not listen.
You need to do this.
You wouldn't.
I don't feel heard whatsoever.
You would listen and you would ask qualifying questions. So even if you're going to give a solution and you have it, wouldn't it be better to just pause and go, let me ask a qualifying question?
Yeah, questions are good.
Yeah, maybe I don't understand all of it. Maybe I shouldn't just assume I understand all of it.
Yeah.
Even me, when I've done 1,000 of these married game calls, we've had so many freaking guys come in. All the stories are almost identically the same when it boils right down to it. I know if the guy speaks 4 words, what's happening. But I spend time letting him see the trap that he has set for himself so that he quits laying it for himself. So whenever I try to fix things, she shuts down and gets defensive. Why do women hate solutions, and how do I break the cycle? But that's your answer?
Yeah. It reminds me of like a conversation we had the other day where I was like complaining about something, right? And you're like, do this. And I was like, no, but like I didn't feel heard. You're like, well, do this. How many ways do I have to say it? I'm like, don't say it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just frustrated, right?
Here's the underlying issue of this thing that I'd like to speak to, the deeper part of this. Whenever I try to fix things, she shuts down and gets defensive. This is not what most guys is. That's just the way my wife is. That's not true.
No.
Sorry to break the heart.
Yeah.
Whenever I try to fix things, she shuts down and gets defensive. Let me point out some different, what I'm hearing this person say, and I'm going to interpret it the way that you and I probably hear it when we hear this. Whenever I, who my wife is unattracted to, try to fix things, and I have zero track record of actually being able to fix anything in my life, let alone my marriage, she shuts down, meaning she doesn't want to hear me because she doesn't respect me. My side of the street is so fucking dirty that I sound like the guy who doesn't live the life trying to tell others to live the life that he's not living. And she gets defensive because who wouldn't get defensive when you have a total retard trying to tell you how to do something when you look at him like a total retard?
Yep.
To then he responds, if he actually understood what those meant, why do women hate solutions? They fucking love solutions from guys that they can actually listen to. And how do I break the cycle? Quit being a fucking retard. That's really the answer.
Basically, all this is clean up your side of the street first.
Yep.
Yeah. Next.
He said, she said. One question, two answers, zero sugarcoating. If I'm providing everything, why does it feel like I have to earn sex?
I want you to answer that one first.
Ooh. Because you've created a container in your relationship and in your marriage that sex is a treat and a favor for when you're a good boy. That's why you feel it. What might shock you is that not everybody feels that way.
Yep.
I don't feel that way.
No. Did you ever feel that way?
Of course.
When?
Yeah. Was it Thursday? No, Thursday of 2011. No, I'm just
Silly.
Dude, it's been, some of these emotions I don't remember. I remember feeling them, but it's been so long since I've actually lived through them. But what I can tell you is I'm providing everything. Why does it feel like I have to earn sex? The truth is you're not providing everything. That's why you feel like you have to earn sex. What you're not actually providing is an emotional connection that she can dump all of her emotions and share everything with you. And when she does that, this is my take. When a woman releases her emotions, typically through words, it then gives her space to go, I'm so pleased and fulfilled, that you actually start to look how you can please and fulfill your man. And when that's the case, you don't feel like you earned anything. You felt like you just actually gave and received something.
Yeah.
And giving and receiving is very different than working and earning.
Yep.
And that's the actual switch.
In our old relationship, or our whole relationship, you have never let that be the situation. So as the leader, even though you were a shitty one in our old relationship, because you had went through what you went through and been married, you always never made it seem like, oh, is that a treat? Do I get this? It was more like, this is what a relationship does. That was just kind of your energy behind it, which, so it's never like, here, I'll give you a cookie, It's just, that's how our relationship is.
Yes.
For the most part.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then, but where I used to feel this earn was it actually came from more of an entitlement.
Yes.
So why does it feel like I have to earn sex? Well, some situations, guys have set themselves up to create that.
That's what I'm saying. They put themselves in that. Exactly.
In that, and almost like, I'm going to say how weird guys do it, that they probably, and so there's going to be some guys here, they're like, fuck, I did that.
Yeah,
and they're going to cringe right now. So I just be
good.
prepared.
They can learn and be different.
No, I get it. That's why we're here. So they might even say things to their wife like, was I a good little boy? Why don't you treat me like a good little boy? Like they'll say things like with
see
that
what I
energy.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now can we go upstairs?
There's that. There's the now can we go upstairs? They'll even say things as stupid as, and I know because I've said them. Now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go take care of what I want to take care of?
Yeah.
Shit like that, right? But I've earned it comes from the entitlement that you think that you've done everything. It's also a trigger. Yeah, so know that the psychology of why do I feel like I have to earn sex also should be an alarm to you that your frame and how you're looking at this is very wrong. You're coming from an entitled frame of like, look, all I did, so I deserve this. It's just your transactional way of looking at it. But this is causing you, hopefully, to see, oh shit, if I'm thinking that way, then this is I'm approaching this thing as a transactional piece.
Nailed it.
He said, she said, 1 question, 2 answers, 0 sugarcoating. Okay. Do women actually want honesty or just to hear what makes them feel better? I
actually want honesty.
Okay.
1000%.
Do you know a lot of women that want that, or do you feel like you're probably in the minority on that one?
I don't know if they, 0 sugarcoating. A little sugarcoating's nice, but no, I think ultimately, even if they want it or not, it's still necessary to do. You can't grow from anything else, right? So give them honesty. I
can tell you that in every situation, honesty always is the best.
Yeah.
Even when I was single, if a girl goes, I hear you having sex with other women. Yeah, how many? 3 this week.
Yeah, at least they know.
Well, oh my God, I can't sleep with you. Okay.
Yeah.
See you later. And then they're back like 3 days later.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you know what? I actually fucking really appreciated your honesty.
Here's your one night stand. Right
there you are, my one night stand. So I've always found whether single or married or in any situation I've ever just being honest. I don't have anything to hide. I don't have anything to worry about. If you can't accept me the way I am, then you don't have to accept me. I don't need to force myself on you. What are we talking about here?
I think not saying things harshly is something that they can learn. You don't have to say things like, well, you're fucking fat. Like, that's harsh, right? Have I gained weight? Well, yes.
Yeah.
You can just say it like that.
Yeah, so in every way, do you actually want honesty or just hear what makes them feel better? You're talking, this goes all the way across the board in every situation.
Yeah. You don't have to say things harshly, but you can be very honest still.
Yeah, I think the underlying tone of everything should always be what would help this person in front of me, like truly help this person in front of me. Let's talk about an example. This isn't for a woman, but this is kind of more how I operate, and you got to see it. We have it on video. We caught it on video.
Okay, what?
What you did to me in the green room bathroom.
Oh, fucking A, did you?
No, I'm just kidding. We didn't get it on video.
Oh, my God.
But, God, that was a lot of fun. No, what we caught on video was, remember those 2 guys we were talking at the end of the Man in the Arena tour? They came up to me. One guy was just saying, like, thanks so much, whatever. And the other guy was like, man, you really threw a curveball. I wasn't expecting to hear all those things. I said, yeah, I love it, man. I'm glad that happened for you. And he goes, can I ask you a question? Sure. And he's like, so I'm single. I'm getting laid a lot. But how do I, attract the one? And I could tell this guy was overweight and not, looking
obviously
good. Yeah, and so I said...
He would have been very good looking, lose all that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody looks better when they're in shape, right? But, I said, so what do you want her to look like physically?
Right.
Like a 10 out of 10 dime spot? And he goes, absolutely. I go, oh, well, you're not going to get her. He goes, what? I go, look at your body. And he goes, what? I go, well, how would you grade your body? Scale of 1 to 10. He goes, I don't know, 7. I go, it's a 4, bro.
I'm so glad I was right there.
And he goes, what? And I grabbed his boobs. I go, you have boobs.
Yeah.
Like literal boobs. Yeah. So there's not a 10 that can visually look at you who can get anything she wants unless you're so funny and so rich. But that's not coming across right now.
Yeah. He came across more like he was expecting an answer from you that was going to feed his ego.
And
he turned all red.
Yeah.
But that's going to benefit him if he listens.
But so that's my approach in every situation.
Yep.
If my best friend asks me a question that's going to be hard to answer, he knows I'm going to answer because I've answered him. Always. Truth. Just the truth. And
just be a little nicer if it's your wife.
It's a little nicer if it's your wife. Yeah. There we go. A little nicer.
But be honest.
He said, okay. She said.
How many times?
1 question, 2 answers, 0 sugarcoating. Is it controlling to want my wife to stop dressing sexy on Instagram.
Yeah. Why would you want her to stop if it makes her feel good and she's coming in the relationship with confidence? Is it such a negative thing? What's your thoughts? Is it control? Yeah, I think it is. If that's something that's making her feel good. Like if you're going to post your shorts, you in your new shorts online, am I going to tell you not to do that?
Well, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
you do whatever you want to do.
Do I think it would be controlling if you tried to do that? I think any human trying to control any human through any behavior is probably a little controlling. But I can also, there's two things I want to say about this. It's an interesting topic. Is it controlling to want my wife to stop dressing sexy on Instagram? If you can tell she's just really thirst trapping just because she's not getting enough attention, and you can tell this is a real attention needing type human, it's a huge turnoff to me.
Well, why is she doing that?
Okay, so that's one thing to ask yourself. Yeah. That's one thing to ask yourself. But there's also there's a piece of a man, and I can understand where a guy would come through. This might not be exactly my belief per se, but I can see where a guy comes from. It's like, I just want that uncovered for me.
Yeah.
And there's guys that lean more that direction. Yeah. That's like, hey, this is something special between us, and I don't want it all over the internet.
Yeah.
Other guys don't feel that way. So
yeah, I can see how men feel that way, men or women. But I also can see, I was like, why do you feel so insecure about it? You should look inward with that too.
The girl posting all over the line?
If the girl's posting and the guy is so insecure about it, well, why are you so insecure about it? That's something you should be asking yourself.
Well, I think
also,
that would be
ask
the
your
answer.
Wife, why do you feel the need to do that? Are you lacking something in our relationship?
And I don't think that either is the assumption of both. Meaning, I don't think that there's something lacking for a girl to want to just go, hey, dude, I love the way I look and I want the world to see it.
Yeah, what if she's working really hard on her body and she just wants to show it? Like that's fine too.
And I think it's a little bit of a double standard, because when guys are on there posting the thing, it's not like, oh, it's like, I've never, not once have I ever done this, posted a picture of me shirtless on the Instagram hoping that women would be, wow, you're hot, or slide in my DMs. It's never happened once.
You're just proud of your body and how far you've
come. I want
come.
guys to be like, bro, you can get your shit together. If you want your wife to actually want to jump up on your body, let's make it a playground. Never thought once for thirst trap. And I don't get any real thirst. Nobody's like, it just never happens. That one I posted recently, just a couple days ago of me, I don't think one woman liked it, commented anything other than you. So I don't even think about that. I'm just thinking, I want all these dudes in married game to realize that, hey man, if you want the top fruit of what a top guy gets, you're gonna have to look a certain way. Just get over it and just fucking get after it. So I don't think it's controlling. I think that if you and your wife really understood each other a lot, that if he goes, hey, I like that you put it out there, I like that you're beautiful, but I want some of the stuff for just me. But see how we're talking and how we're thinking is a way of that's how we communicate. So a lot of people come at you like, I hate when you do that. I mean, that's controlling. Don't do that anymore. That's controlling. But we're just asking questions and saying, get into the deeper part. But a lot of people don't talk that way. That's right. So it is controlling if you're telling them not to. Ask questions. Get curious, not controlling. He said, she said. Okay, here we go. Jesus. One question, 2 answers, 0 sugarcoating. She says, I'm always working. If I slow down, who is paying for this life? Oh, God. Yeah, every dude who knows how to produce has said this at one point in time. Yeah. I used to say that all the time. Yeah. I'm doing this for you. It doesn't fucking feel like it. Yeah, when you're not here. Yeah. This is an interesting one. She says, I'm always working. If I slow down, who is paying for this life? This is an interesting one. A lot of guys go because they actually feel this is right. They're like, literally, how am I supposed to do this? And I think they're missing the mark when they answer that way. They're answering the direct question, which is, how am I supposed to pay this? They're feeling that pressure. Yeah. Nobody's saying that you're not going to feel that pressure. Right. Of course you're feeling that pressure. You're a man. Welcome to feeling pressure. And if you're a man pushing and trying to grow, the pressure almost never, you have some wins and it's exciting, but the pressure still is what it is. That's what moving forward looks like. Now, interesting. where a guy is not considering is if he wants his wife to really like him and to lust after him and to be attracted to him and to do all the things that he's wanting, most men are ignorant of the fact that it takes time, investment, and strategy and understanding the same way business does.
That's what I was thinking is his schedule is, he's not setting aside time for his wife or family, right? He's just business, go, go, go.
Yeah.
That means you don't have control over your schedule and it's running you.
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt you.
And that if something's a priority, you're put on your schedule.
Yeah.
So if going on a date with your wife is a priority, you're going to put on your schedule. If having a meeting with World Logistics, you're going to put on your schedule. Like these types of things. And they're so helpful. Our meeting this week was just so helpful just to sit down.
You know, on time, we did over the phone even. Like that could happen.
Yeah,
okay.
it's the, hey, we're going to make this time. But that's because I have a keen awareness that's very simple. And that is investing time in you creates the reward of what I want. Yeah. So if a guy goes, I want dough, he goes, I got to figure out how to get good at business. If you want your wife to be excited to be around you and get all the things you want, it's what I used to believe it was just because I said I do and because you're my girl, it's just going to happen.
Yeah, no,
Not understanding that it's a lot like a business or a lot like a body. You have to tend to it, and when you tend to it, that's where the fruit really is like, damn. So when I see a guy that's saying, my wife says I always work all the time, but who's paying for this life? He's not focused on the right thing. He's like, why are you always nagging?
Yep.
And what he needs to be seen is, oh, this is an alarm clock that my wife is saying she's not getting enough attention, which means she's feeling neglected. And if he understood that the way she feels neglected feels in her body the same way he feels when he's sexually rejected, he'd knock that shit off in a heartbeat. He'd like, what? I'm making her feel the same way she's making me feel? What the mother ever loving fuck? I got to fix this. But he doesn't understand that. Most men don't. So when they hear this line, they're like, is that fucking true? You tell me. Goddamn right it's true. It's the most truest thing ever. He said, she said. Get it together. What is the difference between being direct and being an asshole?
Oh, I like this because we were just talking about it. Like how we said, if are you gaining weight? Yeah, it's all over. That's so gross. I'm so unattracted to you. That's an asshole. But if you guide her and help her, like I see you put on weight, but so when we started a meal plan, you like, if you keep going this way, it's not going to end up well, which is still hard to take, but I like the honesty.
Yeah. Well, you're my best friend and I just know you. So I'm like, hey, I think you're fucking amazing. Yeah. Clearly, every other morning
that's not being a dick. There you go.
There you go. What's the difference between being a direct and being an asshole? There's a care. There's an underlying care that
You're a
we
teammate.
know. Yeah.
It's teammate attitude, energy, the way you talk to her, not like her enemy or not like you're fucking gross.
Most men don't see their marriage as a team because they've been fighting with their wife so often that they feel like they're enemies and they're trying to win the war.
Exactly.
And so it's almost like if you're driving right now or you're walking on a treadmill or you're doing something and you feel like you're constantly at war with your wife, I want you to just take a big deep breath in right now and release. One more big deep breath in and release. You're not at war with her. She's a teammate. So what you're wanting is to be the best team ever and to put up points that she sees as winning the same way that you see as winning. So I might look at having the best sex of my life every other morning with you as winning for me, whereas you look at the fact that we watch Dexter for 30 minutes to 47 minutes a night as a big fucking win for you.
Yeah.
And they might be two totally different wins, but they mean almost the same thing to each other.
Technically, if you do acts of service without me asking, or like I feel like we're one.
Yeah.
It feels so connective to me.
Yeah. So these are that's the frame. I try and see as much as I can through a frame so that way every situation falls into a frame. It helps me sort it quicker. Yeah. I see the frame is, do I care? Am I sharing this because I care, or am I sharing this to make them feel stupid about themselves? That, to me, is the difference. Lastly, how do I stop the blame game and get to solutions and every fight feels like a war?
Well, that's just what we were saying. Literally what we're saying, that they're not your enemy. Stop like pointing the finger, look within, communicate, talk, stop like projecting all these your insecurities all over somebody else. What?
Just listening.
Facts. They're your teammate. So treat them as one.
Yeah. That's beautiful and true. I want to go a step deeper. Are you okay with this?
I love that.
Yeah, you do. All right, we're gonna go balls deep. How do I stop the blame game and get to solutions when every fight feels like a war? There's so much here that men feel so deeply. There's an underlying current that I don't think men are used to hearing talked about because they assume it's already true. So if you think that this table is going to hold you up, you're not thinking about what's underneath it, because this is, at this point, is the floor. So this is all you are aware of is from here up. That's what most men are aware of in their marriage, from here up. But there's something going on underneath that nobody's actually looking at that's actually causing the real problem. The real problem is, how do I stop the blame game? The reason why somebody would blame somebody is because they want them to most likely be convinced of a different view. So I'm going to blame you because things aren't right, so I need you to believe what I believe so that way we can be in harmony and we can be in unison. The problem that's happening underneath the table is the one that nobody's afraid, that everyone's afraid to talk about, and everybody has already shamed everybody who talks about it. And the fact is that when you stop blaming the blame game is when you become unattached to what actually fucking happens with the other human being. That's the real problem. Underneath it is you have to have her okay for you to be okay. You have to blame her so that she understands she's wrong, so that the way you become right. But then now what? You're right, and she doesn't like you. Now what? You're right. She still doesn't want to suck your dick. Now what? You're right. She actually fucking hates you. Now what? The reason why this is so hard for men and why they want to blame is because they want to be right. Because then if they be right, then they feel like they're entitled to whatever it is that they fucking want. It's this. It's one of the slipperiest lies that men, all of them, fall into. So the answer is, men are so attached here that they can't even see what's going on. So their deep attachment to, you have to like me. Why won't you like me? I've done all this for you. Why don't you fucking like me? Which is what he's really saying in life is, I don't accept me until you accept me. I've built all this ship and I'm getting to try and get you to accept me. But if you don't accept me, how am I supposed to move on? And that's why she goes, look at this little fucking retard who can't even be like, by the way, I accept myself. This is how I am. This is who I am. I'm not going to blame you for anything. If you don't want to do shit, you don't have to do shit. But you can do this. You can walk right out that door and never come back if this is a problem. Meaning, my side of the street is clean.
Yeah.
I accept myself for who I am. I'm not here to try and get you to become something you're not. Either you are who the fuck you are and I love it, and I am who the fuck I am and you love it, and we love it. And this is why I told you, I'm not worried about you leaving. The reason why you're not worried about me leaving is because you, at the most attractive version of you, is the most attractive human being I've ever fucking met in my entire fucking life. Vice versa. When I'm at my most attractive, you never met anybody more attractive than me. Period.
So you're not getting rid of your shorts?
So I'm not getting rid of my shorts. And I blame you for even trying to get me to blame those. And he goes this, I want to get to solutions. What he's saying is, I want peace.
Yes, peace.
I want peace, but you're not even at peace with yourself.
Right.
There's nothing underneath the table. Step on it all you want and it's going to slide out. And you're going to think, oh no, what happened? Underneath, you were so attached. You were so afraid of this woman rejecting. You were so afraid that if she rejects you, that you would find nobody else. This is the deep pain that's going on underneath a man who hasn't accepted himself. And the reason he's unattracted is because he has this reek of like, please accept me. As deep into the game as I have been, I still had this. And I'm like, I have to eliminate this once and fucking for all. You help me do it. But this is what's going on. A man's trying to blame so he can be right, so that he can be the one that, my wife won't give me sex. I only need 5 minutes with your wife to get her to feel sexy again. That's it. So you should need 5 seconds. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's good.
It's deeper. It's deeper. This whole thing is deeper. A man, I hear it all the time. It's like he's waiting for his wife to make the decision for his life. And I'm like, do you understand how utterly repulsive and how much she hates you because of it? She's like rooting for you to pull your head out of your ass and actually be a real leader. So the blame game, when have I blamed you for anything other than, dude, you're the one who fucking left the chicken out, not me. Other than that, what's there to blame?
No, nothing now.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing
but
now.
I say that on this side of it going, whoa,
on
guys.
this side, yeah.
Guys, guess what? It was never about... Here's secret to happy marriage. You ready? Become the best version of you. Don't settle for anything less than people becoming the best version of themselves around you. When you don't settle for anything less, they will either rise or they will leave. If they leave, your heart will be sad for a short amount of time, which then opens the container for that other person to walk in who will give every fucking thing you possibly can want as they realize who the fuck you are, and you'll be happier than you've ever been in your entire fucking life. So the answer is this: either become the fucking top guy for yourself or don't. Either way, she's going to rise and become everything you want her to, like Jessie Joy, because she left me. I had to become everything I need to be. Now I wouldn't trade her for 100 women. And vice versa, if she doesn't rise, you create a space where some lucky lady can step into that space and be like, I recognize that you're the king that you say you are. You actually are the other thing. Whatever lady let you fucking go was an idiot. And you will then live happily ever after, being the man who is the most attractive version of himself for himself, and let everything else shake out. That's the answer. There's no other fucking way around it, period. Now, you need some game, you need some skills, you need some understanding, you need some beliefs. You're going to get that at marriedgame.com, which is where you need to go right now, because you're fucking things up and you're not seeing it correctly. So these guys asking these questions, they're seeing it from this perspective. We're trying to help you see it from this perspective. Period. You have anything to add to that, Jessie Joy?
No, I love that. Facts,
there you go.
Facts.
Whatever excuse you have that pops up in your head that makes you believe that the reason your marriage isn't what it is because it's anything other than you, you are lying to yourself. Or at least hold that frame for 90 days and understand how attraction truly works. And if at the end of the 90 days, nothing happens, what did you lose? You became a high standard for yourself, and you get to watch if she mirrors you or not. But here's the thing, when a guy actually gets to a high standard, he then becomes the interviewer and starts to look at the situation differently than the interviewee, hoping he gets picked one day. For no other reason, walking around disempowered, hoping you can become a man one day if your wife will give you your man card back, what a loser way to live, and you've been sold that that's okay. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's not. And she doesn't want it. So your grandma might tell you to be sweet. Your mama might tell you to be yourself. Your wife saying, be a fucking leader, please, because I'm dying here without you. That's it. So for those of you who are crushing it, keep crushing it, because that shit's contagious. For those of you who aren't crushing it and want to crush it more, go to marriedgame.com, because that shit is contagious as well.